All right, I think we're live. Yeah, it's okay. Interesting beginning. Just doing some experimenting with the hell. So I think we'll do away with this window. Or this. Yeah, that worked. Beginning. Just doing some experimenting with the hell. Yeah, so let's get this out of the way. And with the pause button here, there we go. So, yeah, so this is sort of interesting. I can fiddle around a little bit, and I like it. And pop the chat out. I can have chat in the window. Ah, cool. Not really, but what the hell? You'll be able to see the people blocked. It'll be very exciting. Maybe, possibly. Backgrounds aren't changing. They should be. Settings. Let's see how this works. So you can see a little bit of Linux. Mint. Desktop. And click one of these. There we go. And pictures, solid color, blah, blah, blah. In minutes, 4. Yes. Zoomed. Okay. Apply random. Yes. All settings. I don't know what all settings means. Help all settings. I don't need all settings, so I'll close. All right. So comments. I guess I'll find some comments here. And yeah, I'm surprised this works. I'm surprised my computer can do it without failing to do it. Oops. Okay. Yeah, it's I got this window stays in front for whatever reason. But anyway, that could come in handy. All right, so Homo sapiens says, let's see if it scrolls. Yeah, it does. Oh, this is just too lovely. I hate these notifications. I gotta get rid of that. First look at Detroit. Yeah, I don't know. Getting kind of sick of the chick. She just sells products. Frankly, yeah, it's not terribly. Not too many videos that she isn't selling something, essentially. Anyway. All right, talk to this guy about your theory of gravity, and he had the following question. Let's say there are two pieces of metal. All right, first, let's understand gravity is a nuclear force. That is, it affects the little tiny bits inside of stuff. And gravity permeates everything. And so, yeah. Just recognize that. It's like we're all made out of sand, and every grain of sand is going to be affected by the gravity. Now, yes, if you have really dense sand or a real whole bunch of thick sand, you might be able to absorb all the gravity, but it's not very likely. All right, so the exact same mass and size. One is lying on its side and one is standing, like shown here. See, I can open the little link. Isn't that special? Look at that. All right, so clearly these arrows are kind of irrelevant, but yeah, it would have to. You'd have to have really to recognize the change in the gravity based on thickness of material. You would have to use something like the size of a planet. You'd need something really, really, really big to be able to tell the difference. So common objects aren't going to be able to create enough of a difference for you to ever tell the difference. But it's sort of why gravity makes everything go spherical in the big universe, is because any irregularities in shape will be, by the gravity, made round. The gravity will tend to knock the corners off, to push everything. It will push things a little bit more. So the things on these corners would end up getting pushed more by the gravity, and so they would tend to round the objects. So again, this can only work with very small objects, and very small objects have so little gravity that you couldn't measure the difference. There would be a subtle difference, but it's so slight you wouldn't be able to measure it. Hopefully that fan isn't too bad. It's really hot in here, 87. Isn't it true that more force bits hit the right piece from above? Gravity actually hits from all directions, just that the Earth blocks more of the gravity than the stuff above you. So the stuff below you, the Earth, and just think about how much Earth is below you. Okay, that is absorbing a percentage of the force that can't get to you. And it's doing it through acceleration, by the way. And you're absorbing acceleration going down. So again, understand that your matter bits absorb the acceleration, and they do it pretty consistent to their atomic weight. All right. And therefore, it would weigh more on a scale than the left piece. Now, you can't make anything weigh more. It's just not really possible. It's not bouncing off surfaces. Gravity hits the atoms, hits the little electrons and protons inside every single bit of the matter. It doesn't, nothing can escape it, so to speak. And any force that is blocked can push another atom below it, just like we're pushing the ground, right? I mean, our force doesn't not happen. The force hits us, goes right through us into the ground. So just the same thing would be true for something tipped on its edge, is the force would be the same amount of force. It's just going to go right through everything. It's going to push anything that's blocking it, so to speak. And therefore, it would weigh more on the scale than the left piece, even though they have the same mass. Like I said, this would happen if you could go out into space and take giant things, these funny shapes, and make them out of some substance that was so rigid that it wouldn't be crushed by gravity or reshaped by the gravity into a sphere. But yes, exactly the same force happens. The reason why the world is round is because anything that tries not to be round has more force on it and is flattened to the equilibrium. So yes, there would be more force, but you can't measure it with tiny things. You can only measure it with very, very big things. So that's the simple answer. Yes, there is a subtle difference, but the difference is so slight that unless you make the things huge, you won't be able to detect it. All right. Satisfactory answer, I believe. The Mike Falwell guy said something here. I just reinforcing that he agrees with me, but I don't know. I just caught your response as I nodded off the live chat limits the amount of characters, so it was hard to convey my point. By the way, thanks for noticing. I'm smart. It's appreciated. The point is I'm trying to convey that we have iterated before. If the force bits coming in are absorbed and readmitted via the electron, so this is a photon specific sort of thing, due to the geometric atomic structure and electrons having a position, well, being that the electrons are in tension, and depending on whether it's a hexagon or an octagon or a zectagon, or depending how many electrons there are and how far away they're spaced, they're under different pressure. So it depends on what electron you hit, how much pressure that electron is under. Due to the geometric atomic structure of electrons having a position that are physically separated spectrally, albeit by a small distance due to repulsion. Well, it's all repulsion, and the attraction is to the proton, so they're fighting two forces. One force is between the electrons, which doesn't allow something to move in. So again, I've drawn this before, but if you think of it as a hexagon and you have the pointy parts, you could sort of understand that if an electron is at that peak and it's attracted to a proton here at the base of the pyramid, it can't move closer to the proton. I just said electron, I meant proton. it can't move closer to the proton without moving closer to one of the electrons. And so it's stuck in this position in tension. And it needs extra force to be able to move somewhere. That are physically separated, albeit by a small distance due to repulsion. Then when any form of emission takes place, that emission can only leave from the position of the electron. Sorry, I was showing images to a guy who's blind. I can't really, I probably could go through a whole explanation, but it's like if you had a bird at the peak of a roof, the roof line sloping down, and the bird was attracted to food that was right below it, but it had to push the roof down to get to the food. You could kind of see that, it wants the food, but it can't create enough force to get to the food because it can't push the roof down. Something like that. An emission takes place. That emission can only leave from the position of the electron. Now, the electron the electron moves, and that means some of the force, it's absorbed one force in moving, and then when it moves back to its original position, it emits probably a new photon based on the fact that it's changed the pressure between the electrons it was associated with. So by moving into one of the electrons towards one of the other electrons it's held by, the rebound is where the new photon is released from. And in all these optical light experiments, a magnified image is being projected due to divergence. Yes, well, this is a whole nother subject. Well, I guess, it's the same subject, but, visualizing the separation of the individual rays. The point is that the electrons' surfaces are not flat. The atoms aren't some flat line, and the surfaces have atoms on them, and those atoms have associated with them charge electrons that aren't associated directly to the atoms, and those electrons that collect as charge, those semi-free electrons, and they're just semi-free, are hittable. The separation of individual ways. So that said, don't the results of these experiments support your argument? Of course. And the evidence that there is position, geometric structure within atoms, and that shows itself in the optical experiments. Well, it's certainly perfectly consistent with what you would your logical expectations, that magnets can attract more than one magnet. If you put a magnet in association with another magnet, it doesn't mean that the original magnet completely runs out of magnetism. It's still projecting magnetism. So yes, other things can be attached. And so it's the same argument that when an electron fills a space in an orbital, it doesn't cancel the proton's ability to attract other electrons. Okay. Let's see. Ken throws terminology such as counter space used by Eric Dullard. Well, I knew Eric Dullard does use some silly talk, but I mean, he's not nearly as silly as Ken. So, in his mathematic imaginary numbers I and J, yeah, whatever. I don't know what kind of wacky math he uses, but not much I can say. I mean, I don't have huge respect for Dullard. I just don't think he's as insane as Ken Wheeler. Crazy, yeah. That's all you can say. All right, so I think that's it for this place. Where's my pop-out chat thing? I think I put it somewhere. That's over here. Is it? No. That's not it. What do I do with it? That it? No, that's not it. Gotta be here somewhere. What the hell is this thing? I don't know what that is. I don't want to hit that. I want to hit show more. I don't know what that is. Too many things in my way here. Google Hangouts is sharing your screen. Okay, well, just keep doing that, but you have to block my function bar to do it, so I can't, you know, can't find anything. I don't think you have to do that, you bastards. I mean, it's pretty stupid. They put the thing right.
Could be a new post.
Right on your where the fucking option bar is. Oh, look at all these comments, for fuck's sake. What's wrong with you people? I have a comment to read on the other website. Do you do your little science experiments in dirty tube socks? Okay, well, whatever. It doesn't matter if I do, but fuck off. Obviously, irrelevant. All right. Dr. Negative IQ. Bernstein, a doctor for Berenstein Bears. I told you before, don't communicate with assholes. Ignore assholes. I will block them, ignore them. If you communicate with them, I might confuse you for an asshole. Please don't do it. Yes, I'm sure 2025 they'll unveil their new interdimensional computer which utilizes dark matter too. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Miles Mathis thinks pi is 4. Yes, I did a video on it.
Could be a new post.
And he's using, it's hilarious because this guy, Miles Mathis knows math. And he's making such a stupid error because he thinks the formula for gravity is the formula for converting degrees into, not angstroms, but what's the other thing to use? Well, let's just say angstroms. I can't think of the other thing. And so there's a formula used to convert that. And he thinks that's the gravity formula. He thinks that's the formula for calculating gravitational speed. And so it's such a silly error to make. But obviously he just doesn't understand that there is a force that pushes things when they're in gravity. And so obviously things don't have to slow down in gravity to go around corners, where a runner on a track, there's no force pushing them into the circle. So they have to use their own velocity to move the new angle. So they have to lose velocity to go around a turn. It's just stupid. I mean, it's just a gimmick. I thought this guy was Miles Mathis. Who is this person on this stream? Fuck you. Like, it matters anyway. I can be pompous Putupithus. Suck ass blowback. What's the difference what my fucking name is? You think Miles Mathis that's supposed to mean something? Oh, he's Miles Mathis. Silly fucking name anyway. Obviously, you know who Mendham is. Otherwise, your name wouldn't be Bedham. Oh, yes, that's also true. Well, don't talk to the trolls. Miles Mathis has much intellectual integrity as Alex Jones. That's quite true. I mean, he's worse than Alex Jones, actually. I mean, even Alex Jones doesn't he does come up with insane theories. I mean, ludicrous reptilian theories. The whole idea of thinking they replaced Hawkins with somebody who looks just like him who has ALS, an actor with ALS. It's such a silly theory. Let's see. All right, so I will just block the Bedham guy. Useless fuckers. They ought to kill them. I mean, we ought to just pass a law. There are people on this planet that are too useless to live. They, these assholes who fuck with people's free speech, they ought to just be droned as un-American fascists. They're just fascists. Yeah. Heckling is fascism. When Eminem is right, he's right. Ever. Let's see. Another comment to the asshole. Eminem. God, I can't see where shit today. And I gotta make the text bigger. So I can't see shit. The heat probably is the heat. Made everything strange, didn't it? All right. Where were we? Emendum is right. He's right. Blah, blah, blah. Emendum is in compliance with most scientific consensus. I mean, really, we're just talking about scientific consensus about what might happen if you crash two Volkswagens into each other. But when it comes to their theoretical crap, I'm not in compliance with any of it. Jesus bless you, handsome. You might get blocked really quick for that one. So go ahead, try some more of that shit. Jeez. Christ. What a loser. The poor will be with you always. Okay, that's the motto of your savior. Okay? Fuck your savior. Yeah, he ain't the winner. Anyway, the chosen one has returned to view our comments. So fuck you. Atomic units. Fuck that. Whatever that means. Good riddance. That guy is blocked. Can't believe anyone thinks Matthew Manthus. No. His name is Miles, isn't it? Might as well be a flat earther. Okay, so I made it to the shit, didn't I? Yes, I did. All right, so I can read this snarky comment by some asshole on the Emendum channel. Humongous, who I think I blocked on this channel. Humongous. Angstroms. No, I didn't mean atomic units. What do you call angles in cosmological terms, right? When they have an angle, what do they call it? They have a word for them. Radians. Radians. Gee, you people are really dumb. So it was the formula for converting from degrees to radians. All right. I mean, it's obviously not the freaking angular momentum formula. You know, it's just the formula for converting from degrees to radians. Anyway, yes, it's a huge mistake. Oops, wrong. Yeah, that's it. Yes, it's a huge mistake to rely on experts when it comes to physics. So let's understand the experts have 1/3 of them think Copenhagen's the right answer. 1/3 of them think new universes are created every time a photon goes near something, and the other ones think some other thing I can't remember. Then 40% think string theory, 58% think, or 42% think quantum field theory. So yeah, let's go ask the fucking experts. Fuck you. Instead, we should rely on a fucking high school dropout. I didn't drop out of high school, but you might as well drop out of high school because it's a stupid, shitty, putrid environment where you'll learn nothing useful. Who has probably never solved a basic calculus equation in his life. Yeah, that's right. I don't do calculus. So what? I worked in a machine shop without cutting my hands off, so I guess I could figure some stuff out. And I actually designed some really important circuits in a couple of circumstances that were really quite innovative. Fuckhead. In his life, to tell us how things really are. LOL. So again, LOL is going to be that the truth is I'm right, and not only are your scientists going to look bad, but all you fuckheads are going to look at the fascist you are. You're just a bunch of fascists. You don't know anything. You don't have any expertise. You have no knowledge on the subject, yet you're confident about what the truth is. Yet you haven't done any of the work. You haven't done any of the research. You just talk out of your fucking stinky fucking asses. All right. So back to these assholes. Why address a comment posted on Emendum on this channel? Because it was just such a pile of crap, so I thought it was worth doing. It's on physics, you idiot. Jesus. Either he posts on the right channel or he's dismissed. Well, he can't post on this channel because I blocked him, and now I'm going to block him on this other channel, okay? Dash, you fucking cunt. His name is Humongous. I mean, come on. He wants to get blocked. Ah, shit. All right. Calculus equation in his life to tell us how things really are. LOL. How's your physics delusion moving along, Gary? It's moving along really spectacularly. I asked 4 or 5 simple fucking questions, really simple questions about foundational experiments to quantum mechanics and relativity. Really simple questions, just pointing out how you might have a catastrophic misunderstanding of reality. And have you been able to answer any of them? No. Has anyone answered any of them? No. So you fucking pathetic losers can't answer simple, basic questions, and yet you're going to sit there and tell me you're some kind of authority that I should fucking pay attention to. Oh, I'll just dismiss that guy too. Just delete it later. I'm just so sick of shitheads. Kill the shitheads. How's your physics? Okay. Have you published your earth-shattering physics revolutionizing masterpiece yet? Yes, in part I have published it on a website again, and nobody's been able to critique my model of magnetism and demonstrate how it's at all wrong. And it's the only model that actually explains where the energy comes from and how the force actually works, why it's a radiant force, why Maxwell's equations actually work. My theory explains why that happens. Your theory doesn't. You don't even have a theory. You just have a pope that you go to for your authority. Your expert, the pope, tells you what to think. You fucking idiot. Anyway, still all talk, no bark. Well, again, the bark will be when I actually find a physicist with any balls at all. Their testicles are minute. Okay, as you can see from even the people pretending to be physics interested people like Ken Wheeler and the rest of these weasels, they're afraid of the confrontation. All right, I have an open door policy here for anybody who wishes to debunk anything I'm saying, and who's knocking on the door. None of you pussies. You can't answer the simple, easy questions. As usual, he's been how many years now? Again, that's just a sign of how fascist you are. That's just evidence of your fascism. So I'm just going to be able to prove how all you fuckers are just Trumpy fascist motherfuckers who, think you know something when you know nothing at all. You're all a bunch of underqualified loudmouths. You don't ever think about what you say before you say it. You don't think about what you're typing before you type it. You have no fucking... You've done no research. You've done nothing to guarantee you aren't just plain talking shit. I mean, what should be the penalty for that? You're talking way over your competence here, jackass. Way over. It's been how many? Seeing you talk all this shit about physics is both hilarious and infuriating at the same time. Well, again, if you're so infuriated, why can't you answer the simple questions? And if you're and if you think it's so funny that I could sit there and challenge you, your authorities, why can't your authorities answer the simple fucking questions? Why do you think a photon is different than an electron when it comes to the force of gravity? How come photons get to spend twice as long in the gravity than the electrons do? And how come the inverse square law applies to an electron, and it doesn't apply to photons? Why the magical exemption for photons? Is there any logic behind it? Absolutely none. Is there any reason for it? Yes, because it's convenient to their fantasy that photons can be bent by gravity. Let's see. How exactly are you different from your average flat earther? How is your science different than flat earthers? You seem to be just as unaccountable. You just make production videos. You don't answer any of the challenges. People make challenges to flat earthers. They just delete them. They ignore the points. They don't care. They're not going to answer the question. I asked a question to these people with their small earthers, the less gravity people. Well, how the fuck do the dinosaurs get enough oxygen if there's less gravity? Because then there's less air pressure. How did they get enough oxygen in their lungs? Did I get an answer? No. Does your science answer questions? No. Let's see. So you're the flat earther who's convinced he's right and everybody else is wrong. Well, again, I'm sitting here saying, answer the simple fucking questions. You want I'll do a live room with anybody that you can put on the table here that can manage to speak coherent sentences without talking about how fucking crooked my nose is or something. You know, if you can manage to make a civil argument of some kind, I'm here listening, fuckhead. But you can't make a civil argument. I mean, you actually think you know better than the entire world. Well, somebody has to, right? Doesn't somebody have to know better than everybody else? Isn't that just a fact? So, yeah, it turns out it's me. Irony much. Gee, community of physicists who dedicate their lives to the subject. No, they don't dedicate their lives to the subject. They dedicate their lives to mathematics, not physics. And they dedicate their lives to an assumption. Oh, well, Einstein must be right. And, oh, yeah, quantum mechanics must be right. This Bohr must be right, too. So two people who hated each other and never agreed about anything, they think both of them are right. They believe in Mohammed and Jesus. Okay, yes, bent space-time and quantum wave bullshit. Let's see. So anyway, there's no dedication to the subject. The subject is physics. They think physics is mathematics. And they think physics is some kind of we can't know anything, and the photons are so much more smart than us, and they're always trying to trick us, you know, splitting in half and doing all kinds of radar and figuring out where to go, and they won't even tell us. They're fucking idiots. Your hubris truly knows no bounds. Yes, and when I'm proven right, what is going to be your humility here? How much shit should you have to actually eat, you fucking piece of crap? You harassing, heckling cunt. You're the one that's going to be proven fucking goddamn wrong. I want to know what your self-imposed penalty is going to be for being that fucking wrong. Okay, go ahead. Keep wasting your time. I'm not going to waste any time. I never waste any time. I actually did the research and the work, fuckhead. Instead of philosophy, and in the end you'll fail to produce meaningful works in both. Well, again, I've already produced 6,000 videos, jackass. They're not going anywhere. The record of my contribution exists. You can't erase it with your little wishes and hopes, you petty fucking weasel. So get what you deserve, which is to get run over many times by many heavy objects. Okay, good. We're done with humongous. Anyways, that was fun. Not. Let's see. Okay, this person values high school so highly because that's presumably when his intellect peaked. Yes, well, I'm just saying. I mean, in hindsight, you can just, especially now with the internet, the whole education system. I heard the other day that the debt number for this idiotic college debt is like $1.4 trillion or something. I never got it anyway. I mean, I can't even imagine borrowing money to go to college so I can drink too much and eat too much and party too much. I mean, it's just so fucking stupid. And, with the internet, it's all, you can learn anything. We ought to just give people tests. We give them a doctor test, give them a lawyer test, give them whatever the test is. We just test them. If they know the shit, they get the degree. Fuck these teachers, fuck these institutions, fuck all that shit. We don't need any of that crap anymore. All right. This person values high school. Okay, I get it. Thanks for clarifying. 99% of those comments are pseudo-intellectual basement dwelling. Yeah, I mean, that's the traditional talk, but guess what? They're voters. And they're why we live in a shitocracy. It's because we let these fucking lunatics go under the bar. They can't manage to be civilized humans. I'm just saying we should have a minimum civilization requirement. We ought to have rights of citizenship. You know, the right to vote, the right to do a lot of things. And it should be dependent on you not being a fucking jaywalking, shoplifting motherfucking cunt, or a fucking useless heckler, or a liar, or a cheater in any other fucking way. And there ought to be fucking rules. And assholes like this ought to be out of fucking goddamn luck. They ought to be irrelevant, meaningless motherfucking pieces of shit in our society, because it should be a culture that says, yeah, we're not going to give equal rights to puke. Why would I give a bucket of puke equal rights? All right. Neck beards and small peepees. Yes, well, they definitely have obviously some sort of erectile dysfunctions. What if your questions are being ignored because they fall into the fallacy of begging the question? How is that just beg the question to ask a question? I mean, it's just, there's fundamental experiments to the foundation of the two theories that have been accepted based on very little weak evidence, okay? And so they're fundamental to the assumptions made that all of physics is premised on. I mean, fuck you. We're we scientists, and you're not a scientist, you piece of shit. Must accept that not only are model flawed, but that you're equally credible. Fall into the fallacy. Are being ignored because they fall. The questions do not fall. So I don't know why you wrote this poorly, but you wrote it poorly. If you said in the past that the fundamentals of biology was rock solid, well, I'm arguing that the fundamentals of the theory of evolution are rock solid. Yes, the selfish gene is a rock solid reality. The fact that a DNA molecule, that the little bits of crappy protein is what's really evolving, and we're just an emerent property. We're just a byproduct of the struggle to get on the DNA molecule. But do you think any modern scientific domains are as iffy as physics nowadays? Well, obviously psychology is a pile of crap. So, yeah, that's a pseudoscience all the way through. Let's make people into functional slaves. Yeah, good, done. I can have a little break. But yeah, I like this, that I can do this screen share thing and still have me in the video. And I should have no problem doing the drawing camera also. So that would be really good, I think. Should be good for response videos and such, maybe. Human beings are a temporary multicellular form zygote. We're not zygotes. Used to sexually reproduce with other zygotes. I don't know what that means. We're obviously not zygotes. We're glorified robots. We're just biological robots with really silly wanking programs. We have wanking programs and crying programs and I'm scared programs, and we're fucking fucktarded robots. Franken fucktard or something. Franken fuckstein. Fucking, I have to come up with some way to put fucktard in it. We are used by zygotes. I don't even know what that means, but we're not, so I don't know what this is. It doesn't make any sense to me, sorry. Zygote is a specific form of developing embryo. In a certain 3-month period, it's called a zygote. So I did watch another stupid Ken Wheeler video, and he did again talking about now he's claiming that the lines caused by magnets, where ferrous material lines up with the magnet, is being caused by interference. It's an interference pattern. Amazing. They just keep leaping to this. Every time we see a pattern, it must be interference. Ken Wheeler is that bad, so yeah, you're obviously getting blocked. Mindenberger. Fucking idiot. He's the most obnoxious, egomaniacal, crazy fuck I've ever seen. I mean, if we ever saw Miles Mathis make videos, he would probably be worse, but his physics isn't as bad as Ken Wheeler's. I don't know, you guys keep doing this poetry crap. Dig up and go towards the sea. I don't know. Program gets you 90%, 98% death when you look at the sea turtles. Pretty shitty program. Dig up and go towards the sea. Program. Yeah, well, they're not going to do too well as sea turtles by going towards the road. They have to go somewhere. But yes, they're mostly bird food. Oh, a snapping turtle today in the pond, so that was kind of good. The big one died because they dredged it too late. But there was a smaller one, maybe 6 pounds or something, 7 pounds. So he survived. But yeah, all their young ones get eaten by raccoons. Yes, lots of gardening. I will do an outdoor video soon because the garden's looking better and should have flowers soon. So maybe I'll put my gardening videos on the Draft Science channel. Yeah. It's whatever. You think I'm going to bother with a word like peri-electrically? Come on. Interpause? Whatever. Fuck you. No, they don't. Yeah, I probably should have a separate channel for... Well, I usually do a subject when I'm going through the garden, so it isn't that bad. So I don't think I'll be doing physics walking talks. Who knows? Maybe. Actually been cutting a lot of trees. Yeah, I bought a cheap electric chainsaw, and a year or two ago or whatever, and they recalled it, from Harbor Freight because the start button is fucked up. So it's kind of funny because now I got a new chainsaw, so I figure I should beat the shit out of it. Whatever it's got left in, I should get out of it. So I just been cutting whatever I can get to. There's just so many trees here that have to go, but they're kind of, unfortunately, some of them are beyond my do-it-yourself capacity. Funny how similar discussing with physicists is to discussing with creationists. Well, I wouldn't know because you never, there just aren't any physicists willing to have a conversation about physics. I mean, it's a special little club, and the only people invited are the people who believe in the bullshit. And on such little evidence, again, when you look at the evidence is so fucking thin. And they just cling to it like it's so proven. Oh, it's been so proven. It's so proven. And it's not been proven. Well, I mean, I don't know. You get into the speciation. Is that what you're saying? It's a complex subject. It's an arbitrary line drawn for species. Sometimes species is decided because, frankly, the new guy has too big a penis or too small a penis, and they can't perform the mating ritual. Sometimes species is more dramatic, like with humans, where we lost a chromosome. And so that's a big, barrier to overcome in terms of, the sperm and egg being able to combine properly. We just don't have enough. There's not enough genetic code, or too much genetic code, and so it don't work. So it's a very, so it's not a, you're whining, but I mean, just saying it's not a simple subject. I mean, it really just has to do with whether things can reproduce. And there's lots of things that can cause a barrier to reproduction. They can be just as simple as too much acid around the egg or some other kind of thing, and the sperm can't get there. Species equals pile of rice. Well, whatever. It's a good enough word. This is just, I don't know. What are you, some kind of truther loony? You think there's something special about our evolution and we can't use the word species now? What the fuck are you talking about? If you remove a grain of rice one at a time, at which point does it create a pile of rice? Answer is there is no first member of any species. This there is. There was a first human who had a different number of chromosomes. I'm sorry, but there had to be. And she had to be a female. There's all kinds of rules. It's like the lions and tiger thing is interesting. I can't remember how it works, but there's a real difference between whether the lion's the mother or the tiger's the mother. I'm skeptical whether or not the first female human would have been able to reproduce with modern humans, though. Well, the fact is she was, because obviously she had to. Now, whether it was a brother-sister thing, maybe, I don't know. No, I'm just gonna fucking block you. I'm not a deeply religious person. It's the biggest pile of shit ever spoken. I fucking despise fables and fairy tales. Fuck you until dead. Yeah, I just mean that the two animals, ligers and Leutergers or whatever, are not the same. I don't know what that happened means, but whatever. Could be that the first organisms that started doing this changing into a human thing, could be that a few of them would have occasional babies that were short this hunk of DNA. And so they could have crossed between different mutant babies, that could only reproduce with each other, that had the certain chromosome defect. But more than one woman could have been producing the defect. Sorry if the chat dies because of me. I was already off topic anyway, but it's 6 a.m. here. I might have to go to bed at some point. Yes, go to bed. Okay. If no one talks, then I'll go. It's no big deal. I didn't want to make a huge, big video anyway. I got a big day tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. So I just really wanted to test if I could do this mixing up of the screen thing. And apparently I can in a live room, so that's kind of cool. Theoretical drift could have caused the rise in popularity of that different amount of chromosomes. Well, obviously, there was probably an advantage to the difference. Some kind of, it really didn't have to be an advantage. It's just that maybe they were just better at, walking up to the other side of the stream, and the other side got blown up by a volcano. I mean, most evolution takes place in small populations, the whole punctuated equilibrium thing. So a little few mutants go off. They genetically sort of figured out that all the North American Indians were the byproduct of 6 females, that crossed the Russian land bridge or whatever. I mean, six females. That's it. All right, take care and such. Good night and such, whatever. Yeah, well, there's no such thing as pure luck. There's always circumstances, so I just don't buy that. But I'm just saying, yes, you can call it luck, but obviously in any contest, somebody can win for a stupid reason, right? I mean, a boxer can slip, on sweat and get hit in the face and lose. It wasn't that he was the worst boxer. It's just he was unlucky that he stepped in the, pile of sweat. Anyway, I don't want to argue this to death. People really do love to argue evolution for some reason. But yes, there's always, it's an interesting subject because there's always there's all these little factors that affect what happens, just a lot of little tiny factors. And so it's, it's sort of interesting to try to add them all up and figure out what happened. But, it's sort of interesting. I don't know if it's very interesting. I think it all inbreeding helps with the whole creating more diversity. As funny as that sounds, because it optimizes and narrows, a genetic portrait, peaks it. And so I think most of us are, I mean, obviously it's all error code. Errors are what we're made out of. Those are what the improvements are made out of, is fundamentally errors in replicating. So it's a Xerox machine that doesn't make exact copies, and you're saving the errors over time to make something new that you're copying. But it is kind of funny that it's all error code. I mean, the winner is made out of error code. So the more errors you make, the better. As stupid as that sounds, if you can cause more errors to be made, you'll probably evolve much faster. I don't really like high-end Mendham stuff, but whatever. I wanted to let you know that I will be writing my postdoc thesis. You already said this. Let's see. My postdoc on how Evolutionary is connected to quantum mechanics. Well, good luck with that shit, because it's not. So, bald nuts. So that's a useless guy. Okay. I mean, there is some other guy who's actually doing his doctorate on Evolutionary. Doing his master's, or whatever it is. I thought you were going to bed. Sometimes that's bad, though. On some island, a huge part of the population is colorblind because a big storm basically killed most of the population. Turns out the survivors had those mutations. Yeah, well, the dodo bird wasn't exactly a magnificent creature, was it? Kind of a dodo. Oakley doke. Yeah, being colorblind isn't exactly an advantage, though. So obviously that's not a mistake that, a happy accident. It's sort of an unhappy accident. So let me think. Where do I go to look to see how many people are in the cruddy little room? I don't think it'll tell me here. Anything here? Nope. Talk physics. I chat. I don't see it anywhere there. Guess it's on the other big window. I don't know if I want to open that. It's going to do that strobe thing. Ugh. 18 viewers. Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. Pretty cool, though. I mean, have to admit, it's kind of an interesting effect. I don't know the words to any song, so I just kind of go la 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 la. Because the words are usually pretty fucking stupid, so I don't bother acknowledging that they exist. And I just sort of pay attention to the melody and just pretend they're saying something like, "Oh, Gary, you look spectacular today. Do, 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 do." Yeah. Anyway. Yes, I'm easily distracted. One of my feminine traits. Such as they is. Where'd my little pop-out window go? It's missing now. Pop-out window. Hello? Ah, there you are. Yeah, well, it's 18 idiots, obviously. 18. What's he saying? I this thing on? A full mange face. I don't know what that one's supposed to be. I have to mouse over it to see what it's supposed to be. Expressionless. You're expressionlessing me. Interesting. So that's essentially the I have nothing to say at all, blancmange. Hot in here. I didn't point that out. So anyway, I guess there's nothing else cool and interesting to do here. So I guess I'll go home. Oh, I'm already home. Well, I guess I'll go do something important and blah, 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 blah. More productive, let me put it that way. Yeah, I don't really want to play a Ken Wheeler video and do any of that shit. Yes, I'm using mint. You might be able to tell if you look at it. So I'm using mint. All the rest of them suck. Ubuntu is slow as fuck. Manjaro really isn't terrible, but it's ugly as hell. And yes, it did crash a bit and it's a little flaky. But this mint thing, there's one program I have to be careful, FileZilla. When you leave it running, it can cause it to crash. But outside of that, it doesn't crash. Working very well. So I really like it. It's doing this. Look, it's doing this. Yeah. It's recognized my microphone properly now. It's doing my cameras okay. I mean, the resolution isn't brilliant, but not that terrible. So yes, very good. Thanks, peace out. Okay. I don't really like peace out. I don't know what that fucking even means. Peace out. But this whole peace thing. What the hell is that? We don't need peace. We need fucking war. War on the assholes. Well, there's no pieces of the pie left because we gave them all to the rich. Ha 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 ha. I just don't, it's the wrong piece, but anyway. I just don't like the word peace. It's just such a fucking cootie word. I mean, it's some sort of kumbaya bullshit word. It's like, oh, Piro was talking about spirituality. He did a room and they were talking about spirituality. Oh, it was so insufferable. We have spiritual feelings. Holy shit. We do? Oh, like what? I can imagine being Queen of France. I can see Piro sits there. And, oh, I have such a spiritual feeling. I have a big, lovely white dress. And I walk around with little goldy things and jewelry. And, oh, it gives me such a spiritual feeling. Oh, yeah, it's just such fucking baby talk. Baby fucking drivel. Spiritual feeling. Like we evolved to have a spiritual fucking feeling. I mean, fuck. We're goddamn flatworms, for fuck's sake. That, you know, we can do a little singing and a little dancing. You know, if you put a club in our hand, we can smash things with it. You know, but that's it. Spiritual. Fuck. I guess, you know, he thinks if Tyrannosaurus has got, you know, intelligence first, you know, they always just sit there drinking their tea, talking about their spiritual feelings. Oh, it's so pathetic. Yeah, I mean, really, lesser apes, puny apes. Small brained, small dicked apes. Yeah, and killed Neanderthal with what, right? The durability of being vegan. You know, eating grass. You know, that's how they won. Eating grass. I mean, basically being squirrels, you know. So easy to store nuts for the winter. That doesn't sound quite right, but you know what I mean. Grain. Yeah. But yeah, I just, just terrible. The state of intelligence in this world is just so bad. It's either nihilist or glib or just too fucking silly. Yeah, there are. You know, the whole bonobo thing was urban legend crapple. When real scientists watched the bonobos, they realized that, oh yeah, they go on genocidal raids just like the chimpanzees do, and they kill everybody like maniacs. They're all violent. I mean, you know, orangutans are not. They're not. They don't do gang stuff. So orangutans are kind of like libertarians. You know, everybody kind of try to mind your own business a little bit. And yeah, there's an alpha guy, and you just look out for him. But you know, if he's busy eating bananas, you can fuck his women if you want to. But yeah, I mean, you know, but obviously the others are in tighter groups, and those, you know, it's all just about little family things with orangutans, brothers, sisters, you know, hang out with each other, fathers, you know, I mean, you know what I mean, little family groups, but they don't have big giant colonies. You know, chimps have big colonies and gorillas have smaller colonies, but yeah, it's just all run by one fucking ogre, you know, one fucking big sharp canine teeth, break your fucking legs, you know, you know, dictator. But yeah, not very nice. I mean, their life is violent. Lots of beatings take place. Would you be interested in a pod system vape? I don't know what a pod system is. I can have one sent to you Thursday if you want. Well, any day is okay. It doesn't have to be Thursday. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in having a, you know, more convenient smoking device. You know, but you know, I'm also interested in not spending any money. I actually did put out $20. Fuck. For ferro fluid. Because you can't, you know, you can buy like a tenth of an ounce for like $7. But it's like a tenth of an ounce. I mean, it's, you know, one mistake and all your ferro fluid's gone. And then, you know, you can buy like a half ounce for $14. It's like, well, that sucks, but it's less than 20. So anyway, so I finally just said, fuck it, I'll buy the 2-ounce bottle because it's so much better a deal than buying the 1-ounce bottle. And I'm saying, fuck, I gotta buy the 2-ounce bottle. So I had to spend $20. Because I guess I have to make my own stupid ferro cell so I can demonstrate how this whole fucking ferro bullshit is a pile of crap. So is anyone knowledgeable actually ever going to pick up your ideas? Not the point. The point is anyone going to scrutinize them or debunk them with an actual argument? Is that ever going to happen? Am I going to be in some way demonstrated to be wrong about something? And I guess that's not going to happen. Are apes better off in zoos or in their natural setting? Well, it's hard to say. Intelligent organisms need a civilized environment, I think, obviously. I think human beings are better off in civilization. Now, obviously, our civilization sucks. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind, frankly, just telling the truth, I wouldn't mind living in a zoo. You know, I mean, they dump a bunch of fruit, in twice a day. I just loaf around all day long, have a wank, jizz on the fucking windows. What do I care? I mean, shit. It's, nothing but win for me. So, yeah, I don't know if I'd mind it too much. I mean, obviously, I don't want to be, shut up with crap, and I don't want a bunch of people harassing me every now and then, forcing me into boxes and shit. But I'm just saying, some of those ape habitats look plenty fun enough. You got some balls to bounce around. You can do some shit, but mostly you can just loaf. Pretty cool. Got a roof over your head. Not so bad. Any possibility of color colonizing Mars? Yes, you can colonize lava. You can colonize a fucking city dump. You can colonize any place, but I mean, is it going to be worth it? I mean, is life on Mars going to be worth living? I don't think so. You're going to live in a little box, Maybe it's okay though. Maybe it's the same thing as the zoo. As long as you got a TV that works, okay, I could just sit here and eat potato chips and watch TV. But I mean, you're not going to live in any other way. You're just going to live in a little box on Mars. Well, there wouldn't be any bugs, theoretically, for quite a while. You're never going to, I mean, it's going to take you forever to create an atmosphere on Mars. I mean, you get, the whole catch with, it's very interesting. The fact is that, the Earth runs out of oxygen really quick if, you kill all the plants. The oxygen just disappears like that. Because it oxidizes with things. It turns into rust. It turns into all these. Oxygen just sticks to everything like glue. So if there isn't something constantly producing the oxygen, you don't have any oxygen. So it's a huge problem to create enough of a biosphere to create enough oxygen to cover the whole fucking Martian surface. I mean, hell, that's a hell of a thing to do. And then again, you might not have enough gravity to be able to hold the atmosphere. How can I contact you privately to have one shipped to you? Well, I mean, the channel has a messaging system, but you can send me an email at do-not-god, or just send it to, well, do not go technically is the working domain, but it doesn't matter. It should get to me either way. Or you can send it to draft physics. So send it to vape@draftphysics.com. Or you could just Google in Mendham and you'll find my address. But anyway, because it's apparently easily found. In Mendham's address. It's probably come right up. I guess I could do that, but I'm not going to do that. I don't like to support Google. Canadian swine. Oh, that's an interesting name. I don't know if I can trust somebody. Canadian swine. Jeez. I don't know. Northern pigs might be better. I don't know. I worked on a farm in Canada for a while. The pigs were horrible, though. It's horrible what people do to, people all think these small little farms are wonderful places. Yeah. They had like 10 pigs, and they just kept them in this cruddy little shack, and it was just horrible. But I mean, you can PM this channel also. Just have a PM system, but it is kind of shitty. But anyway, yeah, I think I gave you enough contacting choices. Thanks. I guess I could just PM your channel, send you a message. Our small local from better than mass, and I just pointed out how small farms aren't so good. Yeah, but the pigs are still kind of weird, and they carry human diseases, which is points on against their side and all that stuff. But yeah, they just shouldn't keep them. Those, pig pen is a terrible thing. they shouldn't keep pigs in a pen. It's terrible. So anyway, I guess we're sort of done. Just none of this stuff is physics talk, really. But anyway, no, I'm glad this worked, and so we should have some use for it in the future, and such should be more interesting. And yeah, so till the next time, and such. Yeah.